Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. Well, today was not a good day. U.S. markets got absolutely clobbered once again. Bitcoin is holding above 20,000, but I saw this headline, more stimulus checks coming for millions of Americans. So what is this all about? And I have other good news to share with you guys. So let's get started. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell, get notified of all my streams, follow me on social media, check out CryptosRUs.com, and of course, follow the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. I caught myself once again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today was not good. Not good at all. Early place. Thank you for that. Big super chat. I had not had a sip for a while. But yeah, today not good. Dow down 500. NASDAQ was tanking again. And you know what? Yeah, NASDAQ was down almost 3%, so double of Dow, right? So today, again, people, investors, traders, flip-flop from green to red. And remember, I've told you guys this. We have core inflation numbers coming out on Thursday. So up until Thursday, we'll probably see more of this. Just a lot of volatility, a lot of fear right now. And also some economic data like U.S. Consumer Confidence Index tumbles in June. I mean, it's not a surprise. Consumers are not confident about the economy, not confident about rising grocery prices and gas fees and everything else, right? So this is not a surprise. But let's see what happens this Thursday when core inflation numbers come out, right? So that's what happened today. As for Bitcoin, well, it's still holding strong at 20,000, above 20,300. You could see it's actually a little bit higher than this point yesterday, but this is coming off of 21,000 this morning, so Bitcoin did come down slightly because of what happened in the market today. But that does not mean it's time to give up on Bitcoin once again. No, it does not mean that at all, especially after this headline news that came out, and that is, well, millions of U.S. residents may get a new round of stimulus checks, but this time around, you have to be living in California. But a lot of you guys are living in California. You could get up to $1,050 once again after the endless rounds of stimulus checks the U.S. has handed out. Well, there's more from California this time. So according to this, if you are a single filer, you get $350 if you earn less than $75,000. Between $75,000 and $125,000 drops to $250. If you earn from $125 to $250, then you get $200. Joint filers, basically it bumps up double. And if you have at least one dependent, you could tack on another $350, $250, or $200 based on the tier above. So max, if you are a joint filer making less than $150,000 a year, plus you have at least one dependent, you're getting $1,050. And why is California giving this? Well, it's an inflation relief package. That's the irony of this, that this is being given out to fight inflation. Okay? Yeah, and I'll talk about why there's irony there. But yeah, this is going to be given out sometime in October. Yeah, I think in here it said sometime in October, so don't expect it anytime soon. Yeah, here we go. Checks will be sent via direct deposit or debit card by late October. Okay, maybe going into November around election time, right? But yeah, another round of stimulus check. But the funny thing is, the irony of this is that the printing is what caused the inflation in the first place. And now there's another round of printing called inflation relief package. And this is what a lot of investors are afraid of. This might end up happening across the country once again, because if the economy really slows down and we do go deep into recession and everything starts collapsing, well, the Fed may have to spin up the money printer once again and give out trillions more, right? So that's the thing. Inflation is already at 8.6%. We're at a 40-year high. Powell is raising rates like mad. Fed president wants him to raise even more. Everyone's saying raise rates, but we're starting to see effects of that already. The economy is starting to come down, right? But this is the reason why we have inflation. Despite, finger pointing at Russia, for the main cause of inflation, that's not the main cause. The main cause is the printing, right? The money printing, the money printer that has printed $3-4 trillion in the last 2 years alone, right? That is the reason why we have inflation. And unfortunately, we could get a little bit more of that, and hopefully we don't get a lot more of it, because that's going to end up being even worse, right? We're going to have this endless cycle of printing and inflation going high, then rates needing to be cut, right? And then rates needs to be increased, and then you're just going to have like this endless cycle. So hopefully we don't just go in that cycle and just never come out of it, okay? But because of the situation we're in, there's still a lot of billionaire investors, this time from Jim Coulter, that thinks that the downturn is close to done, but there's a lot more to go. Actually, 2 more to go. So he believes that inflation will continue, will hurt a lot of earnings, and will impact markets going forward, right? And same thing, there's another billionaire investor, David Rubenstein, that thinks that, we don't know what's going to come from all these rate hikes. Will it really solve inflation, right? Will it really avoid recession? Will help U.S. avoid recession? A lot of unknown questions. Even he doesn't know. Even as a billionaire, you don't know. Everyone's kind of guessing at this point, right? Everyone's trying to guess, is this the right course of action? Is it a wrong course of action, right? Is it going to lead to worse things, or is it going to fix things? Most people tend to think it's going to make things worse, that we are going to get much, much, much worse, and Powell has no idea what he's doing, and we will go into this endless cycle where it will finally collapse the U.S. dollar. I don't know if it's going to go that far, but yeah, it does seem like a lot of people are still very wary of what's going on. A lot of cash on the sidelines still, right? Not trusting any of these rallies, not trusting any gains that we have made, because most think that there will be more downside because of what's happening, right? So I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I just, want to talk about California and their decision to give some more money, an inflation relief package, even though it's going to contribute to more inflation. Okay. All right. But as for Bitcoin and crypto, there are billionaires that are sure of it. They're not unsure of it, including Cathie Wood, who believes that the crypto revolution is underway and it will not be stopped. All right? We do believe that digital property rights, which NFTs represent, are going to become incredibly important. So at least we have one billionaire that thinks that it is not a mistake to be in crypto, that it is starting a revolution, and it's nowhere close to the finale. So there's definitely a lot of support out there. Another billionaire. Today's full of billionaires. Mark Cuban reveals that he owns Bitcoin. We know that already. And he believes there's many catalysts that will drive Bitcoin to new heights, including a Lightning Network. And that's a big bonus. And he also believes other things in terms of diversifying your portfolio, and what better way to diversify your portfolio than having Bitcoin in it, right? So Mark Cuban, once upon a time, not a big fan of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Polygon or any of the crypto he's in now, but he believes things will continue and we are still early. And of course, Michael Saylor, who owns 130,000 Bitcoins, gives some advice. Even though he's down $1.2 billion on his investment, you know what? And ignore this sad face that they chose. But according to Michael Saylor, who's another billionaire, tells everyone to stay humble and stack sats. Okay? Focus on the future. Short term, yeah, it could be painful. You know, as painful as one, unrealized loss of 1.2 billion. Yeah, it could be painful. But in the end, if you truly understand what Bitcoin's all about, right, as a hedge against inflation, as a store of value, as a payment network, as a freedom driver, okay? If you understand these things, you'll know that we are still early and you want to be in the game and you want to stack sats as much as you can. It's really that simple. All right. What else is going on? Other good things going on. If you look at exchange reserves of Bitcoin, still dropping. We have dropped to the levels of 2018, mid-2018, when Bitcoin was hovering around $6,000 and $3,000. Okay? It tells you something. It tells you that right now, even at $20,000, which is 3 to 4 times higher than 2018, right? The number of Bitcoins available is the same. So, shows you that Bitcoin is getting scarce. And you can see we topped out around 2020, January 2020. And ever since then, Bitcoin's reserves have been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And eventually, it'll do the opposite of what you see back in January 2013. Eventually, it's going to head to zero. Okay, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but it's go ahead there. So you want to grab and stack sats when you can and when things are cheap. Kelly Kellerman, I think that's how you say it, but he posted 4 different charts that are showing best risk/reward buying opportunity right now, and I've been showing a lot of you guys these metrics over the last few weeks, months, right? That measures Bitcoin versus some of the previous lows, previous bottoms. And you can see, yeah, right now, say reserve risk, lowest it's ever been. Lower than the COVID crash, lower than the 2018 crash, lower than the 2015 crash, right? Look at all these. The dormancy flow, lowest reading since 2010. Here's another one. Bitcoin temperature. I don't even know what this is, but it is the lowest it's ever been. Lower than 2015, lower than 2018, right? And just utilizing, like, say, Bollinger Bands. Again, not the lowest ever, but we are at that extreme low end, extreme floor, extreme buy level. So, yeah, this is what's happening with Bitcoin right now, right? It's very oversold. The fundamentals is still strong. The metrics and models show it's near bottom. And there are still a lot of holders and billionaires that are still in the game and continue forward. And these are all fantastic, fantastic things. And lastly, just from a TA perspective, the monthly RSI pretty much hit this bottom of this trending channel, right? Is it about to flip just like previous times? Could be right around the corner. Anyways, so there you go. That's why you want to be in Bitcoin. All right. Now, just a few other crypto news. Some good, some not. I know I said good news at the beginning, but I guess this is not good news. Or maybe it is, depending on if you're a Roger Ver fan. CoinFLEX, we know that CoinFLEX has exchanged recently that stop withdrawals. It says it needs to raise $47 million. They are coming out with a new token to raise that $47 million. But it turns out the reason why they owe they need $47 million is because, according to CoinFLEX, Roger Ver is the one that owes them. Roger Ver did not pay back his debt. So he borrowed like $47 million. And I don't know if you guys know who Roger Ver is. He was one of the very, very, very early Bitcoin guys, early investor. he was on YouTube before really anyone telling people about Bitcoin and so forth, but then he turned greedy and evil and decided to back Bitcoin Cash because he wanted even more money and power. And it turned out to be a big cluster F, okay? And no one knows what he's doing today because Bitcoin Cash is a failed crypto, and no one really knows. So it's unfortunate to think that he is the one behind CoinFLEX's problems, and it makes one wonder if he's having more issues, more money problems. And then he posted this on his Twitter, and it's funny because people are like laughing at this, saying this is just a direct copy and paste from his lawyer. He didn't write this. Even the formatting is off because, normal tweets are like this. They're not like this, right? So who knows what's going on with Roger Ver right now. So, yeah, like I've been saying, you have all these guys, projects, the negative stuff is coming out, right? Risk management, out the window, bad decision making is coming to light, and I don't know why Roger Ver owes $47 million to CoinFLEX. I don't know what he used that for. He should be a billionaire with Bitcoin, so I don't know why he would need to borrow $47 million anyways. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyways, okay, so that's Roger Ver. As for Polygon and Bored Apes, for these two projects, they're still continuing forward. Polygon just hosted this new Ape Fest, right? That Bored Ape Yacht Club just had. This was hosted on Polygon. I mean, there's a lot of things happening on Polygon right now, and Bored Apes, who happened to onboard Eminem and Snoop Dogg. They're both really, really into it. Polygon is still, collaborating on brands with for NFTs. There's a ton of NFTs on Polygon. Even Sandbox is ready to deploy land to Polygon. Okay, so they're coming out of the bridge. So now Sandbox will be residing on both, but there's obvious reasons why they want to be on Polygon for lower fees, faster transactions, right? Higher throughput. There's a lot of reasons why they want to be on Polygon right now. So that's also fantastic for Polygon, and Polygon just came out with this also that allows people to mint NFTs via API for no gas, zero gas. And this is a big problem for creators that are trying to come out with a collection of like 10,000, right? Because if you times the gas fees, like let's say $10 in gas fee for 10,000, that's $100,000, right? But now you could do it on Polygon for absolutely free. That's huge. So good things happening on Polygon right now, and ApeCoin seems to still be doing well. And there's a lot of good stuff still happening in the world of crypto. You just have to pay attention. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Where's my headline here? There we go. All right. Why is Luna Classic pumping? There's no reason, and you should not be asking that, because if you FOMO in, you go get burned. Don't be trying to play these very ill-advised plays right now. You're seeing it with distressed companies, insolvent companies. You're seeing a lot of these pumps being created by whales, trying to entice people to get back in. And what's going to happen is you're going to see a huge dump in the future. So do not be trying to invest in these kind of things, like what's happening with Cell tokens right now, what's happening with Luna Classic, what's happening with Luna, right? Just stay away from these projects. Could midterm elections cause a rally? Who knows? Maybe. Traditionally, elections does help the economy, it does help the stock market. So it could help this time, but I mean, right now, there's a lot of forces at play, so I don't know if it will, but maybe it will. Any plans to travel to Japan? Actually, I was just talking about that. I've never visited Japan. I would love to. I've been many places in Asia, but never to Japan. I actually do want to go there, Kenny. I don't know if you're there or not, but I do want to go there. Let's see. Are you still bullish on Harmony? Looks like they have good things in the pipeline. I'm more neutral on Harmony, and I cover why this morning. First of all, that 100 million does not seem like it's going to be given back to them. Second of all, DeFi Kingdoms, which is arguably their biggest app and biggest DeFi play, is thinking about leaving Harmony. They said some not good things about Harmony within their last AMA, and that didn't look good. So I'm neutral on Harmony right now. Let's see what happens if they can recover, get some more TVL, get some more dApps, get more bridges. I mean, they had a lot of things in the pipeline. DZO, if you had 30 ETH and 1.5 BTC, would you convert some ETH to BTC or just add only the BTC bag? I don't know. I mean, that's not really balanced right now, right? I don't even know what that comes out to be. So if you're looking at like, so approximately 35,000 in ETH and 40,000. No, 30,000. You're like 50-50, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good breakup. But of course, this right now, I could see why you want to hold more Bitcoin. So if you have the ability to DCA, then just DCA more into Bitcoin, right? That's the easiest way to do it. That way you don't have to sell Ethereum. I mean, for tax reasons alone, you probably don't want to do that. But yeah, if you're going to continue to DCA, if you want a little bit more into Bitcoin, then that's a good plan. Kenny says, I live here. It's great to visit. And you even live as long as you can avoid the work culture. Yeah, I hear it's, Japanese work culture is brutal. You're expected to live, breathe, and die at work, basically. I don't envy that, not one bit. But I would love to visit Disney Japan too. I hear it's really good. Did you see Robinhood added Chainlink to the app? I didn't hear about that, but that's a good addition. Chainlink is a great project. Do I still believe in Cadena? Yeah, nothing has changed my mind about Cadena. I just covered them yesterday. CatX is coming out the mobile wallet, so it looks pretty fancy. Looks good. That is why Toyota kicks ass. Well, you got me there, yeah. But they're really, 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 really late to the EV game. That's for sure. Franco, do you think Roger Ver could be considered a fallen angel of crypto because he started so early in it and now he's in that problem? Because he started so early in it and now he's in that problem? I don't get it. I mean, here's the thing about Roger Ver. I think most people respect him quite a lot. I did too. Up until 2017, when he forced a contentious hard fork with the help of Jihuan Wu of Bitmain, these two declared that blocks need to be increased in size. And they thought that the Bitcoin developers, the main developers, were hindering Bitcoin, so they decided to fork off Bitcoin Cash, right? But man, there was no need for that. That actually made things much worse because then you had a whole slew of new Bitcoin forks and it took liquidity away from Bitcoin, diluted the name, right? And since then, Bitcoin Cash has done nothing. And Roger Ver started spreading a whole bunch of FUD about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin Cash is superior and this and that. And guess what? Roger Ver got a taste of his own medicine with Craig Wright. Craig Wright came out Bitcoin SV and said, you know what, I'm Satoshi. Bitcoin SV follows the white paper more than Bitcoin Cash, right? So, and Craig Wright was a good friend of Roger Ver, so he kind of like backstabbed him. So ever since then, Roger Ver turned quiet because he got a taste of his own medicine, and he over-exaggerated or overestimated his power in the Bitcoin realm, right? And now he's nowhere. Like, no one talks about him. He lost all his clout in this space. And this thing with CoinFLEX, I don't know why he needs to borrow $47 million from CoinFLEX. You know, he was in it so early, and he invested in so many Bitcoin companies. He should be a multi-billionaire. So I don't even know what he's doing with CoinFLEX. So, yeah. No, that is a front stab. Yeah, a front stab, not a back stab. Watched the EV car catch fire, and they had to drill a hole on site, bury the car to put out the fire out. Water wouldn't do it. That's true. You can't put out an EV fire with water. You have to do it with some kind of special chemical. Kelly, my wife is Japanese, was there in March. Great. I really do want to visit Japan. It seems like they're so far ahead with technology, like, you know, parking stations that utilize a conveyor, system, or like a elevator system, right, for parking your car. When you go to a restaurant, everything's ordered through like an app, and then a robot just takes it to you. Stuff like that. It seems like you're living in the future. I don't know how convenient it is really, but things like that sound pretty cool. So I don't know about living there, but visiting, I think it'll be pretty cool. Type D extinguisher, it's metal fire. That makes sense. They have their own wireless standard. Hasn't Japan been in a recession since the 90s? No, I don't think they have. No, not that long. I hear great things about Singapore too, in Asia. Never been there, so I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of places I want to visit. With that gold found in Uganda, will the price of gold go down? Well, theoretically, yes. I don't know. I mean, it came out. It basically $12 trillion. Some people say that that's a FUD story. Some people say it's true. If it's true, it literally doubles the number of gold on Earth with just one find. So think about it. So theoretically, gold should decrease in half because you're adding double the amount of supply instantly almost, right? But I don't know. I haven't done more research into whether or not it's real or it's not. Come visit New Zealand. That's a place. Actually, a good large number of my audience is from New Zealand. I could tell in the analytics. It's surprising, but yeah, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, many parts of Europe, US, obviously. So it's pretty cool. It would be mind-blowing if I visit another country and I get recognized. I mean, the US, I get recognized every so often, which is really pretty humbling. But if I travel to, say, like, people have said, go to Ireland or New Zealand or wherever, and I get recognized, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Am I buying or selling ETH? Buying. I have not sold ETH for quite a long time. I have a good amount of ETH. I've been DCAing, so yeah, definitely more buying than selling. Come to Singapore. I hear Singapore is a really beautiful city, really clean. And there's a lot of crypto companies in Singapore, so that may be a good trip. Can U.S. technically outlaw cryptos? Yeah, they could if they wanted to. But we got a lot of allies, a lot of friends in high places that do believe in crypto. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Why do I continue DCA? Why not? It's like asking, why do billionaires continue to work? Because it's just what they do and what they enjoy and what they believe in, right? Growing up, I always thought the same thing. Like, you got these like billionaires, not just billionaires, guys that are worth tens of billions or hundreds of billions. Why do they continue to work? It's because that's all they know. If they stop working, they wouldn't know what to do with their life. They truly enjoy what they're doing. At that point, it's really like not even about making more money, just about the work or maybe attaining more power. But, you know, it's kind of the same way. Am I accumulating Algorand? Yes, a little bit. I have a small amount of Algorand, small bag. What's up with Voyager? I'm scared. I mean, right now, I don't want to spread more FUD about Voyager, but what's happening is not good if they're limiting withdrawals, right? So, you do what you think is best, but you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to, you know, take out some crypto from Voyager just to be sure, right? Now, they do have a big loan from FTX, so most likely they're secured to go be okay, but you know, right now anything could happen. VV focus, George, my dogs wakes up to your voice. I guess that's good. I was gonna make a joke based on that, but it's too cruel, so I'm not gonna say it. All right. Michael says, I don't think Elon has worked a day in his life. I mean, honestly, he probably thinks that. No, he doesn't think that because during some interviews, he has said it's been absolutely brutal. You know, certain years where he just had to live in a factory and stuff like that. So I don't think he enjoys everything, but he definitely enjoys, you know, creating and building and pushing forward. So. Voyager Robinhood will soon belong to FTX. I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that at all because these big investments, right, basically plants the seed for a takeover later. So I could see both happening, right? Right now, the question mark is if FTX is taking advantage and buying everyone else out, or maybe in the future, right? What is Binance going to do? Is Binance going to jump in too? So I'm thinking the only company out there that can help Celsius at this point is Binance. So who knows? Maybe in the coming days we hear that Binance injects, you know, $2 billion into Celsius, right? If we see that happen, then most likely, you know, there's talks about a takeover. But outside of Binance, I don't know who else has enough money to really save Celsius at this point. But Voyager is pretty much like in FTX pocket. And I would say Robinhood, maybe eventually, because Robinhood isn't doing too well either. What's your best crypto prepaid card? I don't know about prepaid cards. For me, first of all, I don't spend crypto. Right, especially not for stuff. So, like for me, I still have my BlockFi credit card, right? So with this, you know, at least I'm not paying crypto, I'm earning crypto. So yeah, I don't go with prepaid cards. I'm bullish on these: Solana, Avalanche, Cadena, Luna. I'm sure they will do great in the future. Everything except Luna. Okay, I think maybe you're out of the game on Luna. Maybe you didn't hear about what happened, but yeah, I think Solana, Avalanche, Cadena, they have bright futures, just not Luna. Flat hedge, George. My wife gets mad at me every time I tune in. You know, that's a common problem. I hear that a lot. I guess, it's time to find a new woman if she has a problem with it. I'm just joking. All right. There's CZ will be conservative with the list of platforms he wants to help. Yeah, I mean, CZ's a smart guy. I don't think he's going to make irrational moves. Captain JT says, my wife says, why am I not listening to you when I skip a night or two? Well, that sounds like a keeper. That sounds like she's a keeper. FTX going to be competing the likes of Citadel come next cycle. Could be. FTX is positioning themselves to be like BlackRock or Citadel of crypto. Because it seems like they have endless money too. I don't know where all that money is coming from though. I know Sam Bankman-Fried made a ton, right, with arbitrage or currency arbitrage or whatever from Bitcoin early on. That's how you build FTX and Alameda, and he has invested in some great projects like Solana that has made him a lot. But now he seems like throwing hundreds of millions each way like it's nothing. So yeah. What's your views on Solana phone project? Here's my views. You know what the Solana phone project, what it looks like, what it reminds me of, is this.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
That's what the Solana phone reminds me of. Yeah. I don't think it's going to do well. George, start a channel about wife's advice. Oh, that sounds funny. I think I should start a channel on movie reviews and TV show reviews, like honest opinions about them, not like as a critic and they go like so deep into them, just like general reviews. I had that idea. I think that would do well. A lot of you guys enjoy that. Or just random stuff about sports or advice for your wife or girlfriends, maybe just like a random Q&A for random questions. Kenobi did not suck. Come on. That was good. What will you do after your YouTube career? I don't know. I don't know how long I could be on YouTube. I'm older than most YouTubers, obviously. I don't know how long I could keep this up for. It's real draining. And people, like my family and my wife has told me that within the last few years, it seems like I aged like 10 years. It's real taxing. So I don't know when I'm going to stop and what I'm going to do afterwards. I'll just chill and do nothing, I guess. Marcus says, don't get a wife, save your money as sanity. Sports cards. I like sports cards. I do. I have not kept up with sports cards in a long time. Seems like the vintage cards are still doing very well, but new cards have dumped a lot. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Overall, you know what? Bitcoin is holding. Crypto market is holding. U.S. market, not so much. We're going to get another round of stimulus, but only for Californians, right? But the irony of this is this inflation relief bill, right? It is what caused inflation to begin with. But it's coming. So if you're living in California, you can get some more money in the future, and you could utilize that to stack more sats, right? But overall, hey, there's a lot of good stuff still happening in this space. You don't want to ignore it. It's very early. It's very early. And that is why we are in it. We're staying strong. We're holding on, and we're stacking and DCing, right? Because of how early it is. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.